First up, an art exhibition. Madrid has the Prado, Paris has the Louvre, Brussels has a big museum of comics. Who needs Da Vinci's Vitruvian Man when they have Hergé's Adventures of Tintin? Cartoon enthusiast Tina Anthony has a master's in comics and has agreed to introduce me to some of her favourites. Like Tintin, a ginger Belgian reporter, and the Blue Forest creatures called Smurfs. Tina, I love the idea of being able to look at cartoons, at comics. Like, so often you go to a big city and you're just looking at like 16th century masterpieces, but nobody celebrates cartoons and comics. I presume they should be celebrated.
For me, definitely. It's an art. In Belgium, we call them the ninth art. So you have the classic arts, and then you have cinema and photography. And number 9 is for comic art, but a real art, and therefore a real museum too.
Although you might be intimidated by high art, we all feel we know comic art, and it all fed us when we were young. Were there some ones that really had an impact on you when you were young?
I think I'm no exception when I tell you that I've learned how to read reading comics. And especially here in Belgium, I think most kids learn how to read reading comics. So of course they had a huge impact on me. It just went on, and I just never stopped actually. Some people stop at some points, but I never did.
There's also the idea of the comics that I enjoyed in my youth and you enjoyed. Like, it can be hard to defend them now. Like the likes of Asterix and Obelix, and some of the treatment of women, or the attitude towards women in those, are Tintin, particularly in African things. Is that challenging?
Comics that are our heritage, that made up of our Belgian identity, have been challenged quite a lot in Belgium. Also, we could talk about Smurfette.
Oh wait, the Smurfs going to be cancelled too? What did the Smurfs do?
They have only one female character. There's 99 Smurfs and one female character.
That's dark,
That's not a good gender balance, no. And then she's blonde and she's beautiful and she has no character. So that's problematic.
Isn't that terrible? I watched all those Smurf cartoons and never even noticed how anti-female it was. Right. But yet, they're not being cancelled. You have a wall celebrating them there. How does that work?
We wouldn't want to cancel them. But we should know when they were created, by whom, and also which invisible messages are passed on to young readers.
And the museum doesn't keep the comics to itself. There are over 70 murals hidden, or not, as the case may be, around the city. It's interesting that Brussels is often thought of as like a big business centre or politics, the centre of the European Parliament, but it also has this playful side.
You see it over there.
Good. Oh, look!
That's Gaston Lagaffe. It's one of our most famous clumsy anti-heroes.
So the yo-yo's coming down and hitting a customer, yeah. The rain wouldn't put off the intrepid Tintin, so we don't let it stop us as we continue our comic capers around the city.
And there you can see our little friend.
Can I?
Look, over there.
Right. Oh, I see him now, yeah, with his light blue jumper and his balding head. Yeah.
Brussels wouldn't be Brussels without a Tintin mural.
Great talking to you, Tina, and thank you for the help and the insights.
It was my pleasure, really. I love to talk about comics, you know.
Yeah.